Hong Kong 50 price prediction and technical analysis. And what we'll do in regards to this video is identify the market structure of Hong Kong 50, market patterns that we should be paying attention to, key support and resistance levels that we should be focusing on, in addition to levels at which we may potentially look for buy and sell opportunities. And as you guys can see, we're on the monthly chart. And just to recap again, remember guys, the last time we spoke about this particular index, we had mentioned that the market had given us this previous low, and we said that the market may potentially give us the second leg of a double bottom, and potentially we may see price move up, closing above this neckline, hitting back down to the neckline to test it. And at that point is where we may potentially look for further buy opportunities. And if we do indeed find any good buy opportunities at this point, our first take profit should be around here, which is where we have actually this level, and that level actually is a very strong level of resistance, as we had multiple rejections in around that area. To add to that, we also have this candlestick over here, and what it is a bullish candlestick which has quite a small body and a very long upper wick. And what that tells us is that at the top, where that wick starts or ends, we have a lot of money stuck there, right? And as I always say, the markets will always go to where the money is, excuse me. And yeah, ideally I want to see price closing above the neckline of this potential W structure and then heading up to that level over there, right? What else do we see on this chart that we should be paying attention to? Another thing that I also want to point out that is very much interesting is that, as much as I'm saying that ideally we want to see price potentially giving us the second leg of the W structure and then moving further up, just note that at this point in time we also have this level over here, and that level is a very strong level of resistance, and it's also the neckline of this overextended double top, as you guys can see. And by the way, it is an overextended double top because that first leg is much higher than the second leg, and it has, as I said, a neckline over there. And what may potentially happen is price may head to where we have that neckline, and at that neckline we may potentially see the market move further down, right? So we just need to be careful. So from here, what I'm gonna do is just add a neckline for that structure. Just bear with me. Let's have a look. So there goes our neckline, as I've just said, and I'm just going to utilize the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if the neckline, which is over here of this double top, aligns with any key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool. Let's just have a look. Just bear with me, guys. Fibonacci, and I would use Fibonacci in this manner, and there we go, guys. We can see that the neckline, which is over here of this overextended double top, aligns with, we could say, the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. So what this means, as I've said, is that should price from where it is actually head up to this level, at that level is where we have reason to sell, right? I'm not saying that we should sell, I'm saying we have reason to sell, and that is because, as I've said, we have this M structure, right? And price broke to the bottom side of that neckline, and then it would be at that point, and at that point is a very strong level of resistance, as well as the neckline of that M structure. To add to that, the very same level aligns with, as I said, the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. So we may see price move further down from that level and perhaps to this level over here, right? Anyway, from here let's head down to the weekly chart and let's see what's happening down there. And just to recap, remember guys, on the monthly chart we spoke about how the market had given us this double top which has a neckline there. We said ideally we may see price come back to the neckline to give it a test, and at that point where the neckline is, we may potentially see price move further down because it's a very strong level of resistance. To add to that, it aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, so we just need to be careful. But here we are on the weekly chart, and what do we see on the weekly chart? Let's just zoom in a bit. On the weekly chart, as much as we have this overextended double top, we also have what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern over here, more or less, and it too has a neckline at that point, more or less. And should price close above this neckline, we may see it hit all the way to that point. And remember what I said earlier, that at this point is where we may again see the market actually move further down, right? I hope you guys can see that. Anyway, I'm just going to add a neckline for that pattern. Just bear with me. Our neckline would be somewhere here, more or less, and as I said, it is the neckline of this pattern over here, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And remember guys, should price close above that point, it may head down to this level again, and at that level we may see the market actually move up to that point, and at that point is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities, right? Anyway, what else do we see at this point? At this point I don't see much really, so I'm just gonna head down to the daily chart. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we are on the daily chart, and on the daily chart I'm just gonna start off by adding my daily channel, so just bear with me. Let's have a look. So there goes our daily channel, right? And let's just zoom in and see what's happening. And again, just to recap guys, remember on the bigger time frames we have that huge overextended double top, as well as this pattern over here, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and they both have necklines in those two areas, right? In addition to that, we can now see that we also have this channel over here, and what this means ultimately is that at this point in time, buying or selling within this region right now is a bit tricky. But let's just zoom in and see what's happening, right? So buying and selling, buying or selling for that matter, is tricky at this point, and I've given you reasons why. But remember, at this point in time we're at a very strong level of resistance. I hope you guys can see that we're at a very strong level of resistance, and that is because we've had multiple rejections in and around that area, as you guys can see. And as I said, as much as we want to see the market move further up to this level, and at that level is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities, just note that because price at this point in time is at a very strong level of resistance, we may actually see the market from where it is move further down, right? We may see the market move further down from where it is, especially because if you can just zoom out, we also have this channel over here which acts as dynamic support, right? So we may see price at this point over here bounce off of this very strong level of resistance over here, as well as of this channel over here, and then we may see the market move further down, right? Let's just zoom in again and see what's happening on the daily chart. On the daily chart I don't see much really, and as much as on the weekly chart we spoke about how the market had given us this pattern, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Just note that if we were to look at this area over here, we would see that the market again has given us an opposing structure, which is a head and shoulders pattern again. Can you guys see that? And it too has a neckline at that point, right? And what may possibly happen, as I said, is that the market may head to this level, and because we have this very strong level of resistance as well as this dynamic resistance as well, we may potentially at this level see the market move further down to the neckline, which is over here, right? And if price closes below that neckline, it is quite possible that we may see the market actually head down to complete that structure, because ultimately the head and shoulders pattern started here. If I can just mark it, it started here, right? And then we saw the market move up, gave us the structure, and as I said, it has a neckline there, and if it does close below that neckline, right, we may see the market actually move further down to close around this level, which is in line with where the structure had started, which is, as I said, over here, right? I hope you guys can see that, right? I'm just gonna add a neckline for this head and shoulders pattern as well. Just bear with me. There we go. Right, I just hope my lines are not too confusing. Remember, if I can just recap, on the weekly chart we spoke about how we have the structure over here, right? And on the monthly chart we spoke about how we have that huge overextended M structure over there, which has a neckline there, right? And the neckline of this W structure over here is around here, right? And to add to that, we also spoke about on the daily chart how the market has given us this structure which has a neckline here, right? And we spoke about how this neckline, right, of this pattern is also a very strong level of resistance, and that we may actually see price at this very strong level of resistance as well as at this very strong level of dynamic resistance, right, push further down to at least the neckline of this pattern over here, which is a head and shoulders pattern. And should price close below this neckline, there's a very big chance that we will see the market actually head down to around this level over here, and that is because that's where the structure started. I hope you guys can see that, right? And I hope my drawings make sense. Anyway, let's continue. From here, what I'm going to do is head down to the H4 chart. Let's have a look. Just bear with me, guys. Right, here we are on the H4 chart, and on the H4 chart, I'm just going to start off by adding my H4 channel, and I would add it more or less in this manner. Just bear with me, everybody. There goes my H4 chart more or less, right? And again, remember guys, we have this pattern, right? And I said that we may potentially see the market close below this channel, or rather this neckline, as well as now this channel, right? And if that happens, chances are we're going to see the market move further down to around that level. So what am I saying? So what I'm saying in other words is that, just to repeat myself, buying or selling here is a bit risky, right? Because we have too many contradictory details, and at this point in time, based on how price is, we may see the market heading either direction, right? But before selling, right, I'd rather wait for price to close below this neckline of this pattern over here. Once that happens, then I would look for sell opportunities, right? I would wait for price to close below this channel, as well as to close below this neckline of that pattern, which is a head and shoulders pattern. And then again, I would wait for the market to head back to that level, and if this level aligns with any of the key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, I would then look for reversal candlestick patterns, and as well as the breaking of a channel. And if price breaks the channel again, I would then sell, right? I hope what I'm saying makes sense. But in order to buy, remember guys, we spoke about how we have just bear with me, and let me just try to zoom out. Remember, we spoke about how the market had given us this huge pattern, right, on the bigger time frames, which has a neckline there. In order to buy, I would rather wait for price to actually close at least above this very strong level of resistance, right? And even if you do buy at this point, just bear in mind that we also have this dynamics resistance over there, right? You may buy here only for this dynamic resistance to push the market further down, right? Hence I'm saying that buying within this region is actually very, very tricky, right? And also the best thing that you may do, actually, as I said, is rather wait for price to close below here and then look for potential sell opportunities, or wait for price to close above this level, which is the neckline of that pattern that I spoke about, and then again wait for it to close above this pattern, then look for potential buy opportunities. And if you do indeed find any good ones, I would say that our first take profit should be the neckline, right, which is over here, and it is the neckline of that double top that we spoke about on the bigger time frames. And remember that I said that at this point is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities, because it is the neckline, remember, it's the neckline of that huge double top that we spoke about, right? Remember that, and it aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, right? Anyway, that's it as far as my analysis goes, and just remember that I'm just speculating and just showing you some of the outcomes that we may encounter in as far as HK50 is concerned. And I hope everything makes sense, and peace out.